Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mindy and today's subject is self-criticism. How can you do to overcome that self-criticism that's stopping you from showing your real self, in the sense of from showing your art, from showing your ideas to the world, from sharing with others what really matters the most to you because you're afraid of what they're going to think about? How can you give yourself permission in order to be less self-critical and be able to just be your more pure and unapologetically, please people, correct me, so that you can be your most real and honest you. But before I start, I want to ask you to please like this video, subscribe to my channel, because I post every week videos to learn more about yourself, to break free from all ideas and conceptions, and to understand who you really are. What's your purpose? What's your mission? All of those things. So let's dive in. This question actually comes from a viewer who I'm gonna keep anonymous. He's an ENFP, but this problem is not only for ENFPs. This is just for everyone who is a human. And this viewer is actually an artist who wanted me to help him to understand how can he convince himself that it's okay to show his work. And I think this is like a very good question and a real good way to show to you all the viewers like the kind of things that stop us from being our real selves. Because if you think about it, when you don't show your piece of work, your piece of art, or your business idea, or when you don't share that dream that you had the other night because of what's gonna think your spouse if you say that, all of those things, it's because you're afraid of revealing like the authentic self that's inside. So I want to start this with the reason why this happens, why this self-criticism and like critical voice inside our heads. I mean, chances are that it's not just you who is crazy and has this critical voice. That's the first part. We all have been conditioned by our society, by our parents, by our teachers, by the media. Nowadays we are conditioned by the successes of other people in social media, YouTube, all of those things. So that's the core, the base for most of our self-doubts. It's comparing ourselves to what other people is doing, comparing ourselves to the version that we believe our parents hold of us, what they expect from us, what we learned that it's the good thing to do, what's the normal thing to do. And there is all of that, and we don't need to know where it comes from, but I'm just trying to give you a little insight of why this kind of things happen. So you have this whole world that you have built in your head because of what's been real to you, what your parents told you you should do. I don't know what's the situation of the viewer who asked this, but I know, for instance, I'm going to use my own example. Me as an artist, I did not allow myself to embrace fully like this is who I am for many years, because I had also the situation that my parents expected from me other things that I'm not. They expected for me to be a business, like a commercial business woman. Well, I do have that side, but I don't see myself as an office job person. And so that created this sort of feeling inside of me that I am not free to even upload videos on YouTube. As I said in all the videos, I'm gonna link them below. I had for many years I wanted to do this and I didn't do it. And a lot has to do with that, of course. And so it's not crazy that we are adults that are scared of many things. Actually, we believe that being scared of doing the things that matter the most is like something childish, but it's really not. We've all been kids that have been hurt in one way or another, or that our authenticity was not considered to be important. So we learned to shape ourselves into like our environment, And the result that we have now is like we are adults that at some point feel like I want to do things and I don't feel free from the inside. Also, another reason is like the lack of stimulation from the parents that do not allow or do not like help the child to understand that it's important that they express themselves in the way that best comes to them. So if you have a kid, for sure kids need that support. It's like this assistance from the parents that help them to be authentically who they are, to express themselves in the way they have to express, to choose the career they want to choose, to play the way they want to play, if I don't know, the way they want to express whatever is their selves. I think parents should do, otherwise you have these problems when you're an adult, that you're confused and that your life doesn't feel kind of right, or that some things that you want to do you're not capable of doing because you doubt yourself. So that's a bit of a background, is always coming from parents. So now you know that that's where it comes from, and you're here because you want to know how can you convince yourself that that's okay to show your work. In the case of the artist, let's say this person is a painter and he does not allow himself to put it on social media because can be many reasons. My work has not the quality of the work that other people that he or she follows on social media. Because what's kind of my family think that I'm crazy, or what's going, maybe no, it's not going to sell. In the case of the art, let's say there can be of any sort. Let's say you're a dancer, you just want to post your video dancing on social media, or not even, you just want to dance for an event, but you don't allow yourself to do. All of this is expressions of yourself. So one thing for sure that you need to know, and this is an important message I want to give to you who is watching this, is that the reason why you feel this criticism and this doubt about what the rest think is because you didn't have probably people in your life who supports you to, or who encouraged you to be your real self and who approved you. So now it's your job as yourself to support yourself to do that. So think of yourself as you are this kid, it's your inner child trying to break free and trying to express themselves. And you're conscious of it, and you have to give yourself the support and the permission to do the things that you want to be doing. And I know sounds easier said than done, but it's the first idea that you need to put in your head. It's you about being your main and first supporter and your main and first fan. Because remember, there is going to be people who is going to hate what you do, and there's going to be people who's going to love what you do. And you're not doing whatever you're doing for people to hate you or love you. You're doing whatever you're doing, and you're showing this, and you're allowing yourself to do this because it's a necessity that you have in your heart. It's a need that you have. And that's something that you are doing because you just want to help yourself to have a full, real experience of life. I am a full believer that we're all in this world with a set of skills or likes and passions, and there must be a bigger reason for it to be that way. Why I have the likes and passions and things that I want to do and that I do that I love, and you have other, and this person has another. So there is a reason that we might not know really, like what is the whole big plan and the whole reason for existence. I mean, yes, we can make another video about that, but still be sure that that's who you are. If it comes from nowhere, that's you, and you are meant to be that person. You're meant to allow your person be that. Imagine, and this is another idea that will help you seeing people and liking the work of other people and adoring what other people is doing, because I don't know, because they're posting a video as I'm doing, or because they are I don't know, talking about the things that matters to them. They're just being authentic to themselves, and you imagine you adore them, or you like them, or whatever word you want to use for them. How amazing it is that you imagine you are liking and adoring and approving of the work of another person. When you don't do that for yourself, you need it yourself. I mean, you have enough of that. Of course, you can like the work of many people, and you can appreciate the authentic self of people, and you can actually see that when you look at, even in social media, even in YouTube, we like people that we feel connected because they feel authentic, right? So you need to do the same for yourself. You need to become your own follower and your own groupie, let's call it that way. You also, I am a believer that whatever is that your authentic self is asking you to do, you have to do it because that's like your way. Nature, life make you this way, with this particular set of things, because with that you help the whole chain of creation to keep its own rhythm, if it comes from your heart. So it's like we all humans have this, some call them passions, some other calls them skills, other calls them the calling to doing things. And it's like, if we follow this, we are somehow helping one another. So what you have inside, that's something that the world is needing somehow. So be assured of that, whatever that is. In the case of the person that asked this question, he's an artist, and he is, I believe he makes paintings or drawings or something like that. And one thing for sure of art is, okay, art, you cannot count it as, okay, with art you can build a house in the sense of like material, in a material way. But art is so important for enriching the souls of the people who is building really the houses. Art makes the world better. We do need art in order to feel alive, to feel good. In that sense, you can see that art is also functional to the world. So whatever it is that you're doing, the world needs it. But overall, this is my message for you. It's, you need yourself, and you need to put yourself as a priority before you think of the rest. And still, even though you know all of these things that I'm telling you, doesn't mean that you will feel immediately like, oh, I feel okay when I post it because I know it. No, that's not how it works. Even for myself, it's been like a while, and I still feel self-aware. When I post some things on social media, I still feel insecure, but I know that I am being honest, and I ask myself in those moments, does this go in line with what my purpose is, with who I really are? Let's just make it more simple. If the answer is yes, I will post it. And you know what I noticed, the most amazing thing is, like, when you do that, it's like the people who follows you start also feeling that vibe coming from you, and you're also kind of helping people to free themselves in some way or another when you're being authentic. So even though you're going to try, you're going to post your work, in the case of this person who wanted to start posting their work, it's going to feel uncomfortable because you're not used to it. And be sure that every time that you're stretching yourself, it's like you're stretching, imagine you're like a fabric and you're stretching your fibers. It's going to be uncomfortable. But you know what I noticed, and I assure you, is that once you start doing it, it feels uncomfortable at the beginning. And the more you do it, the next time is going to be less uncomfortable, and the next time is going to be less uncomfortable. But if you want to really be able to show yourself, your real self, you have to be okay with it being uncomfortable. That's how it is. And having this commitment with yourself that you're doing it no matter what, because you want to live authentically the way that you are meant to be, in the way that your inner self is asking you to do it. Okay, so that's all for now. I am gonna leave this video here, so I hope you liked. Please share this video if you liked it. If you enjoyed it, please give a thumbs up and subscribe, and see you next time.